Friends with the world, guess what? You know, TD Jakes and all these other, the ones that aren't here anymore, James Cleveland, uh, 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 Eddie Long, you know, be friends with the world.
That's right. That's why you find DDJ hanging out with Puff Daddy. Yeah.
The vesica. See the sun. Why are you with? But it goes deeper than that. You know, see, I wait till this is over. Uh-oh, here come Debo. Why? Because part of being, when you say holy, what are you saying? Let's get that. Let's see. Put in holy. In fact, let's go to whoops. Or worship of the Most High. Hallowed. Plantation Christianity, too. He's not wrong. Scared to be different.
God is a God of no compromising. That's true. And if you compromise, you're just like the world. That's right.
Look at that. Look at that. Didn't I just read that?
And they announce your son or your daughter, you ain't yelling from the balcony. Like the world, I don't care how proud you are. I would tell a woman have a meek and quiet spirit. That's right. Right. They ain't yelling, woo! That's my boy! Ah! Imagine God come with you that tone. My Lord. Put a difference that you may put difference between holy and outline shadow. I don't care how many gray strings come in your mustache, don't dye it. That's right.
Oh, there go the church mothers all in white. Come on now. They've adopted. What do you think they got there? Come on now. So I'm on. If you care to watch the rest of that, I'll put the link. But we're going to go to another one here. Oops. Let's see. Let's see. Salakia for the commercials.
We're back again, ladies and gentlemen, man. It is crazy in these streets. This time, man, can't believe it. TD Snakes.
Yep, that's what I always call them, TD Snakes. And who is he copying?
That was his spiritual father. Like father, like son? Yeah. Well, we got the tape of him. The allegations are true. And you might be saying, but I'm not this, I'm not that. I didn't do nothing. I'm gonna fight this thing. Well, let's see what Jake's have to say to see if it looks similar. Let's go.
Look at him. So you're saying that all the allegations are lies and you're not going to address it, but you're addressing it. You're addressing it by telling us this. If it wasn't nothing, why even give air to it? You're admitting guilt, sir. Just like Eddie Long did before the Most High put him to death. And now you walking down the same path. Let's go.
Stand straight up, head up, back straight, and preach the unadulterated, infallible word of God.
Pride goeth before the fall. These preachers, man. I mean, think about it.
Proverbs 16 and 18.
You know what I'm saying? All red for the occasion. Not saying you can't wear red, but my point is, there's a reason why he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's to let the elite know, hey, I'm down for the cause.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is what the is for.
Really? So that's what the pulpit is for. But the other day, Tyler Perry was in your pulpit giving you $1 million, and then he laid hands on you, and basically you gave birth to a demon. Oh, we're going to talk about that in another video. He just said the pulpit is for preaching the gospel. But when it was time...
Real quick here, hold on. This is Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Let's go to Sirach. Salaki. 10 and 13. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Most High brought upon them strange calamities, and overthrew them utterly. 14. The Most High, Yahweh, hath cast down the thrones of proud princes, and set up the meek in their place. The Most High hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations, as he's doing right now. This devil, these Edomites, these so-called white people, they're on the way out, and planted the lowly in their place. All right. So let's go back and a little bit more of this, and I'm going to go to another one.
But when it was time Curry to come up here, oh, you ain't have no problem letting him come up to the pulpit to give you that check and to lay hands on you. And he's not even a pastor. But see, when it comes to that money, oh, you ready to give that thing up.
That filthy lucre.
Anything. You give everybody a special favor if they offer you $1 million.
And that's scriptural.
That's right. Let's get back to the table. Let's go.
But there will be a time. So you can stop dragging. People are fighting and just log off. All you do is just hit the button.
So you want us to log off. You want us to just stop and just ignore the truth, right? Nah. We're not going to ignore this truth, fam. I mean, just look at Eddie Long right there. When the allegations came out about him, he was there looking crazy, scared, nervous, the church blind. And this is how a lot of you
Zombies.
are right now concerning TD Snakes.
Definitely not lively stones.
The whole time Eddie Long was there, he was guilty. He was in the church putting heavy meat up inside them boys. I'm talking about heavy meat, dark meat. He was putting heavy meat deep inside them boys in the church, busting them boys' backs open in the church, in the locker rooms of the church. These young men didn't stand a chance. Remember, back then, Eddie Long was like this. You know what I mean? And he held them boys down and put heavy, dark meat inside of them in the church. He got up there on that podium and he lied to the people, just like TD Snakes is lying. See? Same thing. See how that look? Same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I prophesied that the Most High was going to put Eddie Long to death back in the day. Those of you that watch this platform that remember on the channel,
Yeah, I used to watch him years ago. I remember that.
look at how the people are blind.
Yep.
They're blind. They don't know no better because they've been deceived by a false prophet. And this is sad, man. This is the sad reality of what people deal with, man. This is the sad reality of this. How people just fall victim and they can't even see. They can't even see this truth. Let me see if I can get this into the stream and play this tape just so you can understand this thing real quick. Let me do this real fast. Right? Let me get the volume. Boom. Boom. Not that one. This one. Okay. So we should have volume now. Let me move this over here so we can hear this screen right here in the middle. Let's play this tape, see what's going on with this. Let's go. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I don't think you can. Hold on a second. Let's double check that audio. Hold on. This is it. Hold on a second. Because what this is going to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is the history of what you're seeing here. Bishop Eddie Long came to the same podium that is supposed to be for speaking out against the allegations, and instead of doing the right thing, instead what he did is he lied to the public. So let's take a listen to this again. I got it all queued up now. Let's listen to what he had to say. Let me rewind this back. Let's go.
There have been allegations and attacks made on me.
Wow.
I have never in my life portrayed myself as a perfect man.
Notice, I have never portrayed myself as a perfect man. That's guilt. In the same sermon, we're going to find that section in another video. Bishop T.D. Snakes said the same thing. I've never portrayed myself to be a perfect man, as if I do everything right. When they do this, it's because they're guilty.
One of my mentors live events coming to you.
When they do this, it's because they're guilty. Do you understand me? Let's get back to the tape.
But I am not the man that's being portrayed on the television.
Look at that. Look at the women.
That's not me.
He said that's not him, but he settled in court, and those guys got paid money. They got paid. And then he got cursed and was put to death. Y'all remember when he got real skinny? He was all muscled up. Y'all remember? He used to wear the muscle shirts all the time, and people used to complain. And he got real stickly. Okay, that's the Most High. Most High was in playing, fam. And now look, T.D. Snakes doing the same thing.
That is not me.
He lied, y'all.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna go to another one for time's sake, but I mean, Ringo, you know, with that dread stuff, boy, Jake just don't get it. All right, let's go to another one. All right, let's see.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Crescent Channel. The well-known Bishop T.D. Jakes broke his silence on the rumors that he was involved in P. Diddy's notorious freak-off parties. Now, where did this rumor come from? Well, this rumor started going viral on TikTok, and mind you, it hasn't been confirmed or proven as of yet. But
That's why I told you at the top. Still allegations at this point.
that he did all types of horrendous acts to her. They're now saying that Cassie is working with the feds and she has turned over evidence that also incriminates T.D. Jakes. They also said that a lawsuit allegedly is brewing against T.D. Jakes, and it's going to be similar to the whole Eddie Long scandal.
Now, there is also an alleged email out saying a plethora of other things that include T.D. Jakes with Diddy. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. I'm not gonna say nothing else.
As here, yo bro, Cassie has turned over substantial amounts of evidence to the feds. I'm told that after Cassie had a long conversation with Blank, I have to protect this person. They're going through a lot right now. And her lawyers, she finally was convinced to give up the videotapes and audio recordings that contain footage of S parties and other private gatherings that feature some pretty powerful and prominent people. And get this, she even gave up a burner phone and USBs that belong to Kim Porter with incriminating evidence against Diddy. I'm told that there are a slew of artists, politicians, and entertainers that are about to be exposed and arrested for H10. I'm paraphrasing there, okay? H10. I'm told that Cassie's husband played a significant role in getting Cassie to turn over the evidence. It's to my understanding that Cassie felt that by exposing the truth, it would also make her look like a filthy Moor, and I'm paraphrasing there because some of the videos she turned in, it shows her getting number one, okay guys, paraphrasing again.
The golden shower. Ooh.
That she was forced to do. I'm also told that multiple male escorts corroborated the fact that T.D. Jakes have slept with multiple men at Diddy's parties and abroad, and they refer to him as being a power bottom. Wow. It's also been said that a young male has acquired a lawyer to represent him as he is set to sue Jakes for an incident that took place when he was just years old. It's been said that the young man was forced to perform sloppy toppy, and I'm paraphrasing here, guys. You can actually put two and two together to understand what I'm trying to say. It's been said that the man's family were members of the Potter's house, but left the church in 2015. day because they took hush money. According to Pastor Blank, and I have to protect this pastor, Bishop Jakes is about to get railroaded and all of his dirt will be exposed. That's why the bishop has quietly lawyered up. He sees his fall from grace coming.
Oh, man. This is St. Luke 8 and 17. All right. In fact, let's get 12 and 2 and 3 first. It says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear and closet shall be proclaimed upon the rooftops." Back to 8 and 17, as soon as I can. "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." So whether you speak it or whether you do it, I covered both. All right. Plantation Christianity. And I'd mentioned something in passing earlier while we were watching the Ringo video. You know, about pride. And you got to understand also where he mentioned that him being a student, talking about Eddie Long of T.D. Jakes. Where do you think T.D. or Snakes? That's what I used to call him. But where do you think he? See, you go to your oppressors' schools, institutions, whatever have you. In this case, theological seminaries and colleges, whatever have you, to learn his doctrine, his wine, his philosophy. All right. The most wicked piece of shit that has ever walked the earth. A base man. And you take what he has done in his rewriting, retelling, all right, of what's actually yours and mine, our people's book. All right? And you can't tell me that these people never heard of the Hebrew Israelites. And I can just imagine all the... And I think was he recorded scoffing? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sure they've done... I'm not sure, but I can just imagine that, you know, maybe this is because of that. I mean, amongst other things, you know, bottom line is, all that wickedness that you did, it's time to pay the piper. All right. Like I said earlier about, you know, the bill has come due. This devil is going down, and he don't care about nobody else. So all of you that aligned yourself with him, guess what? He don't give a fuck. All right. Another thing that I can't remember if she addresses, but it just occurred to me that I think these guys are Masons also. P. Diddy, Jay-Z, all these guys. I'm pretty sure. I just, you know, I don't know for sure, but maybe there's that angle there too.
Finally lawyered up. He sees his fall from grace coming.
This don't look good for nobody.
Now, these are some pretty wild and disturbing
What?
allegations. And one thing the internet does every single time.
Oh, yeah.
News like this hits the internet. Here they come, acting a fool. Y'all, look at these memes. They got this man's...
Salaki.
Look at these memes. They got this man sliding on the floor, and they're saying this is T.D. Jakes at Diddy's parties. And there were some other memes as well. It was just ridiculous.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you...
What the hell y'all talking about on this internet today? T.D. Jakes being exposed as a power bottom by Diddy's male escort. What the hell is a damn power bottom?
Ask me what you just asked me. Say it louder. What's a what? Mom. Okay. If a bottom is a bottom, right? You know what a bottom is? A bottom, you know, a person at the bottom, an LGBTQIA+. So what do you think of power? So he can like give you
Listen to this.
I don't know. Like, I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry was the bishop of what? Like, I've never, like, and I cut a check for $100. I'm gonna lay my hands on your bishop, and he said, and then the bishop said, it's on the internet. He's doing all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the dais screaming, push the baby out, birth that baby. What's this? Are we at church? Or is this about to turn into like a whole other scene, like a love scene from Eyes Wide Shut? Like, this is looking a little weird. If Bishop Jakes was at the Diddy party, there could only be two reasons: money or sex. That's all that happens at Diddy parties: money and sex. I hope it was for money.
charitable country.
I hope it was for money, because arguing about who's going to put the strap on, that can be a very uncomfortable situation. You know, we're going to pray on it. Praise the Lord.
Go ahead.
You look just like the sinner, you act just like the sinner,
That's right.
and you think just like the sinner.
That's right. That's right.
That's why you find T.D. Jakes hanging out with Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
So people were bringing up funny memes, but I also noticed they were bringing up a lot of interesting commentary from people who found it odd that he was hanging out with Diddy. And Diddy has gone to T.D. Jakes' church a few times. He has hung out with him. And when I saw this, I really didn't think anything of it. Diddy is a huge contributor to T.D. Jakes' church. And this is probably why T.D. Jakes hangs around him, because he likes money. He doesn't care about Diddy's character. He cares about his money. But people are saying that it's deeper than that. They're saying that Diddy and T.D. Jakes have a deeper relationship. I did hear rumors that T.D. Jakes might be a part of the same Masonic group that Diddy is a part of. I heard that Diddy was a part of this Boule Club, whatever. It's called the Boule, and it's a Black Freemason club. And allegedly Diddy is a part of it, and I also heard that Jay-Z might be a part of it too, which is why Jay-Z hangs out a lot with Diddy. I think Jay-Z got some secrets himself. I'm not even gonna lie to you. However, when it comes to T.D. Jakes, there are rumors that he is a Freemason like Diddy. They both are a part of the Brotherhood, and allegedly people get sacrificed. It's not uncommon to hear that the Brotherhood sacrifices humans, allegedly. But yeah, T.D. Jakes has been connected to Diddy, and they're accusing him of being a part of these freak-off parties and also allegedly having inappropriate relations with minors, which is very disturbing. Also, there has been videos floating around of this prophet who prophesied that T.D. Jakes would have his downfall. And she made this prophecy last year. And I do find it interesting that now, in light of these rumors, this video is starting to circulate.
The Lord said that Bishop T.D. Jakes will have one of the biggest scandals of all time in the Christian church, one of the biggest shaming falls before God finally judges him in taking his life. His scandal will involve his sexual orientation, and God says that this is when people will finally see who they have been following with a lot of these pastors and spiritual leaders. So this prophecy came before the other one. This one is September 1st, that the Lord first said that on top of being a false prophet, on top of misleading people, on top of, he called it financial impropriety, which means that there is severe questions about what happens to money in the Potter's house. He says that this man is a wolf in sheep's clothing, that this man is a Freemason, and that he is brotherhood. This is what the Lord revealed months ago in the false prophet's prophecy. But now in this live call, God brought out that this man is not interested in women, but is bent towards males. But not only that, has harmed underage youths and boys. And God says that this sex scandal will be named by the people he has been with. The males are going to bring out, he says, proof. The evidence this bishop will be fighting is hard evidence. And God says he will spend considerable time, considerable energy, considerable power, and considerable money to suppress that evidence so that it does not come out in the legal battles that will follow. But God said that we are going into an era where the evidence will get a chance to speak.
That prophecy is very, very interesting. And it's interesting that it's now circulating after these rumors about T.D. Jakes came up. So I don't know. It kind of makes me wonder what is going to happen. However, T.D. Jakes did finally come out and he addressed the rumors. And he pretty much said that they were lies.
Some of you logged in or come in.
I mean, we've already covered that, but let's see.
A representative from T.D. Jakes' church also released a statement saying this: recent claims circulated on pockets of social media about Bishop T.D. Jakes are unequivocally false and baseless. Jordan A. Hora, Executive Director of Public Relations.
Hey, what do you expect them to say?
For the T.D. Jakes Group, T.D. Jakes Ministries, and the Potter's House, told the Christian Post in an exclusive statement Thursday. What has always been true, in the words of the late pastor Charles H. Spurgeon, if you want the truth to go around the world, you must hire an express train to pull it. But if you want a lie to go around the world, it will fly. It is as light as a feather, and a breath will carry it. Cora said it was disheartening to witness the proliferation of numerous deepfake photos and the distortion of words through false, sensationalized misrepresentations, encapsulating purported statements to falsely speculate and attack others, including Bishop Jakes. There is so much work to be done to create a better world, she said. The Bible teaches us the importance of compassion and care for others, especially those who may be marginalized or in need. Chairman Jakes, undeterred by false, perverse, and ignorant and conspiratorial speculations, will persevere in
okay, whatever.
dedication to create.
We shall see. As Louis Gossett Jr. said. Here we go.
My New Year's resolution is to live. What's going on, Dawson Speak TV and D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, subscribing, and sharing the videos on this channel. Much love to those who support this channel by donating. I appreciate it. All that information is in the description box underneath the video. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notifications when I drop a new video. Now let's get into this topic. Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. Now this video is for educational purposes, and as I approach this topic with respect, I want you all to please be respectful in my comment section. Thanks.
Now, I want to talk about something that's been on my mind for quite some time. You know, it's really been bothering me, and I thank God that I have a platform that I can talk about stuff, you know, get it off my chest. And I want to deal with the black church. Not that it doesn't happen in other churches, it's just because I'm black and I want to talk to my people. So everyone else, please, 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 stand back and stand down. We got this. The black church is the long-standing institutional backbone of the African American community.
And it's a
The
joke.
black church has been the locus of hope, spiritual guidance, and social support for many African Americans.
And it's a joke.
However, when it comes to cases of abuse, whether that abuse is mental, physical, spiritual, sexual, or financial in the church, some leaders in the church, some, not all, have always found a way to protect and cover up the predator and leave the victims to fend for themselves. The victims not only have to deal with the pressure of being victimized,
There they go.
but also
His
the
victims.
adequate
1, 2, 3, 4,
and
5.
other leaders that support the predator who at times pressure the victims to remain quiet, walk away, and live in obscurity. Now, I'm sure many of my subscribers and listeners, many of you have your own stories about abuse of power that has taken place in religious institutions. However, when we have opened our mouth to talk about specific situations and people, I'm sure many of you have heard what I have heard from some, not all religious zealots, who have said whenever we wanted to talk about these cases of abuse, "Oh, Brother Dawson, touch not my anointed, do my prophets
Yeah,
harm."
that's the black woman.
Lord, fix it. Jesus will work it out. It'll be all over in the morning. No, it won't. It won't. It'll be all over when we get the boldness to talk about injustice that takes place in religious institutions. The abuse of power that many congregants and leaders are afraid to address for fear of excommunication when it comes to the congregants, or demotion, or financial contributions being withheld.
There you go. That money.
Speak out on scandals in the church has got to stop. How can the victims ever win when the leaders in the church and the predators are friends? Take a breath. No, I'm going to say it again. How can the victims ever win when the leaders in the church and the predators are friends? Now, anytime on my show when I've talked about topics and I've dealt with individuals who've been inappropriately touched, or essay, we say here on YouTube, in religious institutions, and the victims were girls or young women, people can get on board with that and say, "Dawson, oh yeah, the predators, that man, that whoever, they need to be held accountable. It's a shame before God what they did to them girls or that woman." However, when I've gotten on this show and I've said that the victims that the predator had inappropriate interactions with were boys or young men, some of you said in the comments, "Oh, Dawson, I don't know about that. Them boys, they young men. They could have fought back. They could have said something. Maybe they wanted it. I don't know, Dawson. Maybe they got a little sugar in their tank." No, maybe you got some sugar in your damn brain. First of all, let me say this. No one, male or female, wants to go through a traumatic experience like that, where you have to live with what that person did to you for the rest of your life. Are you kidding me? And having that thought process when it comes to boys and young men, especially our black boys and young men, is a similar thought process that some individuals who work in the judicial system have when sentencing our boys as adults, because they don't see black boys as children, and in cases of our young men, they are given longer sentences than their white counterparts. Oh, y'all better let me work out my YouTube dissertation today. It's the same thought process, you all. This thinking that black boys or young black men can't be victims of being inappropriately touched or of SA is truly asinine. And as of late, we can see that grown black men are saying that things happen to them, where they were put in situations where there was misconduct, abuse of power, inappropriate touching, that has left them with trauma. And no amount of money that you give them is going to heal that trauma, so stop it. And I want to give a shout out to Terry Crews and Christian Keys for having the guts to speak out on things that the black community, I'm dealing with us today, that the black community often laughs about. I may do a video on that because I feel so much fire and, man, look here, let me keep going on. And that brings me to these two men. Both had allegations of inappropriate. We were told not to discuss it because it would make the black church look bad. Nonsense.
What? More than it already does? What?
Cover up, reach out of court settlements, make excuses for, or rebuke congregants for having questions about abuse.
Don't need much help there.
Institution look bad,
Yep.
not us. Reverend James Cleveland was revered all around the world for making many, and I do mean many, classic gospel songs that are still being sung in and out of churches all around the world. Many call him the king of gospel music. Reverend James Cleveland was the mentor to the Queen of Soul, the late, great Aretha Franklin, the daughter of Reverend C.L. Franklin. Reverend James Cleveland loved her, and the Queen of Soul loved him, and so did millions of people around the world. However, after his untimely death in 1991, people began to speculate about Reverend James Cleveland's life outside the church and how he died. A young man who lived with James Cleveland shocked the world when he came out with horrific allegations that many of James Cleveland's friends in the gospel music industry, churchgoers, and lovers of his music did not want to hear or accept. In February of 1992, Reverend James Cleveland's then foster son, Christopher Harris, formerly known as Christopher Harris Cleveland, filed a lawsuit against Reverend Cleveland's estate, claiming that Reverend James Cleveland allegedly had inappropriate interactions with him, S.A.'d him over a period of 5 years, which started when he was 15 years old, and infected him with what we call on YouTube here, House in Virginia virus, which Christopher claims that Reverend James Cleveland contracted the virus through same-sex liaisons. Now, thanks to Jet Magazine, some of you all remember Jet Magazine, you're not that young, they actually did an article about the situation in March of 1992. Although Jet did face some criticism from James Cleveland supporters, the article gave the public information on the King of Gospel that would have been kept secret had his adopted son, Christopher Harris, went to leaders in the church instead of outside sources. Now, the case was settled with undisclosed terms. You heard me right. James Cleveland Estate settled the case with his adopted son, Christopher Harris. And they had no choice but to do so. They knew that man wasn't lying. Now, around his church, many congregants knew that Reverend James Cleveland was known to take in many homeless, fatherless children into his Windsor Hills home. After Christopher Harris received a settlement with James Cleveland's estate, everyone went about business as usual, and no one talked about it anymore in the black church or in the gospel music industry, because they did not want to taint the king of gospel music's legacy. In other words, forget about the victim, to hell with him. James Cleveland's legacy is more important. And a side note, why is James Cleveland looking like this in this picture? He's giving us the look like, "Those of y'all better not talk about me. Shh, where is your face? Shh, get out of here, James, quit staring at us." Now, decades later, another shocking scandal of young men that were inappropriately touched or essayed by a powerful man of God rocked the black church, and that was the case of Bishop Eddie Long.
Sexual assault.
3 reasons why minimalist phone helps you spend less time on your smartphone.
The man of God rocked the black church, and that was the case of Bishop Eddie Long. Bishop Eddie Long was a husband, a father, a leader of a mega church, New Birth Baptist Church in Latonia, Georgia, with thousands of followers. Bishop Eddie Long was close to many prominent people in the Atlanta area in the educational, political, and entertainment arenas. Many people visited his church and watched his telecast for
Wife had that pained look on her face, like, yeah, right.
guidance. To some, his church was a guiding post for those looking for a closer or deeper relationship with the Lord. However, all of that changed on September of 2010 when young men shared similar stories about their relationship with Bishop Eddie Long, who they alleged filled the void left by an absent or abusive father. The 2010 civil lawsuit claimed that Bishop Eddie Long used monetary funds from the accounts of New Birth Baptist Church of Latonia, Georgia, and other corporate and non-profit accounts to entice young men with cars, clothes, jewelry, and electronics. Each alleged that Bishop Eddie Long coerced them into sexual relations. Though he agreed to pay for their silence, Bishop Eddie Long continued to deny their allegations. An undisclosed financial settlement, here's another settlement again, reached in 2011 after the fifth accuser, Santino Kemp, came forward, prevents the victims from discussing Bishop Eddie Long or Now, in one of his final interviews before his untimely demise, Bishop Eddie Long told comedian Steve Harvey that the settlement prevented him from discussing any aspects of the case brought against him. When Steve Harvey asked, "Did you have sexual relationships with any of the accusers?" Bishop Long stood firm. "I'm bound by court that I cannot make any statements about that." He said that in the 2016 interview on the Steve Harvey Show, which left everybody with questions about the situation. Because we all remember, when the allegations first came out, that following Sunday, Bishop Eddie Long came out with First Lady Vanessa Long by his side. They walked to the pulpit, and everybody was jumping up and down. They were happy to hear him and to see them both together. And then he got to the pulpit, and that's when he stated that he was David going against Goliath, and he had stones, but he hadn't thrown one stone yet. And the crowd went wild. I remember it like it was yesterday. Everybody in the congregation was jumping up and down because Bishop Eddie Long was going to defend himself. But no, the next thing we saw, Bishop Eddie Long was at a press conference, and they were talking about settling the lawsuit. He didn't throw any stones. He didn't defend himself. He settled with the victims, even though he said in the beginning that he was going to fight. If he knew that he didn't do it, why didn't he fight? I'll tell you why. Because he knew that gullible people in the church, some not all, would look over this. Because when it comes to misconduct, inappropriate interactions, or abuse in the church, especially when black boys and young men are involved, no one really wants to deal with it. And it's been that way for decades. Because like I said before, you know how some church folks are. Oh my God, why them boys didn't fight back? They probably wanted it. Maybe they gay. That's ludicrous. Every young man or young woman that's been inappropriately touched, or essay as we say here on YouTube, by someone of the same sex is not gay or lesbian. And if they were, that still does not justify the abuser's actions. Wake up, y'all. There are victims right now in some of these churches who fear going to the elders of the church to report situations for fear of a cover-up to protect the leader or the church's reputation. But you know how I feel about that. Blow the whistle. To hell with the church leader and the church's reputation. There are a lot of monsters that hide out in religious institutions, both male and female. And if we continue to let these monsters terrorize members of the congregation, when we have knowledge of their ungodly behavior and actions, and we choose to do nothing, remain silent, we are just as guilty as those who abuse. Now that's how I feel about it. And now I want to know how you all feel about it. Reverend James Cleveland and Bishop Eddie Long, get down in the comments. Let me know what you all think about this video. Until next time, it's your guy Dawson. Thank you all for sharing the video, liking the video. Those who donate, I appreciate it. Who say, Dawson, you bless me.
So there you have it. All right. You got to understand, like he just said, and it's so very true. Sadly, but true. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And you saw all sorts of congregations, these Christian churches, especially in the so-called black community. They're zombies. Of course, they're going to leave my pastor alone and all this bullshit. Another thing he said, which again is so sad, especially when it comes to males, all right, you know, it's not the same. Well, you got to understand the society, the Western society, especially here in America. Nobody gives a damn about the males. You know, let them fend for themselves, you know, blah, 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 blah. But they'll turn the world upside down, you know, especially if a white woman sneezes. You know, this place got to go. It has to go, and it is. That's basically it. Like I said, with TD snakes, remember these at this point, allegations. I just, the prophetess thing. We shall see. But in any case, he got to dole out some money. All right, he got to dole out some money. All right. What was it? Several years ago, he spent almost $1 million on his daughter's wedding. Yeah. So you got to give some of that up. Now, like I said, that bill has come due. You dance with the devil. Got to pay up. So, like I said, I will hopefully I'll remember, put the links to all these videos in the description box. And yeah, this is what, Jake wants to be just like the oppressor, and the scriptures say, envy not the oppressor. All right. Jake just don't get it. And we always tell you there's going to be just, is it Proverbs? Wait a minute. Yeah, here it is. This is Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. We have been prisoners here in America for so long. And even when you have this sick relationship between the oppressor and the oppressed, there's some give and take. You can't help it as far as, certain customs and everything. Rub off, another way to, but this, it goes without saying that, amongst our people, Jeremiah 5:26, amongst my people, wicked men, paraphrasing. And Jake do some wicked shit, but you got to remember, Jake is not the wicked. We are here as punishment. All right? And we are observing these prophecies in these latter years, and we can see, hey, this shit is about to blow the fuck up. All right? Because like I said, this devil has plans. He sees that he's at his end. All the guile, all the behind the scenes bullshit, it doesn't work. Isaiah 47 chapter, all his sorceries, all those things don't work the way they used to work. That's a clear sign. All right. And he's not going to be able to, he's just going to have to come with that wrath, like I mentioned in Revelation 12:12, and come with that sword. He don't have no choice. He feels it slipping through his fingers. All right. So, yeah, with that, I hope you have been edified, as I often state at closing, because that's what we're here for, Great Millstone. Like I always say, we filter everything through the scriptures, all right, as we're supposed to do. So with that, until the next video, Shalom.